Place your hand over your heart. Feel that? That's called purpose. You're alive for a reason. Join Bonnke Shipalana on The Power Within as we discover your purpose for being alive.
Before we get into the next song on our playlist, there's something that worries me, something that is hurting me, something that is making my heart, my soul, to cry a bit. And that is our failure as a nation. Our failure as a nation. If you have a chance in life to travel the world and see how other countries are living, see how other nations are behaving, you tend to realize that things that you deem normal and acceptable are not. You realize that things that you have accepted as normal change are not. And then you quickly learn that those things that you deem to be acceptable were actually learned behavior. There was a time and a point in life where we learned whatever we believe is normal. And I'm raising this because I think as a nation we have failed our children. As a nation we have failed this current generation. As a nation we have failed the next generation. And this was raised by the number of incidents that we are experiencing as a country where children have no respect for authority, where children have no respect for authority. That on its own manifests itself through children fighting with teachers, children fighting with parents. Some videos, children fighting with an adult who's trying to help them, who is actually driving a bus. And then you realize that we can summarize this and say, no, children are abusive or they're violent, which is true. But to be honest, it's children who don't believe in authority, who don't believe in guidance, who don't believe in being told what to do, who don't believe in following a particular mark. And to be honest, we can sit and blame them, but I think we're taking a shortcut. At the end of the day, there is no one in this world who will never follow a good leader. There is no one in this world who will never follow proper directions if they know the reward of that direction. But unfortunately, as society, we have tried our level best to request them, the children, to follow us. But when they look at where we are, it's not what they aspire to be. When they look at where we are currently, it's not what they aspire to be. In simple English, it's similar to someone coming to you and say, I want to help you with your finances. I want to make sure that you invest properly. I want to make sure by the time you turn 50, you are wealthy. The person is 51 and the person is homeless. There is no way that you're going to listen to someone guiding you if where they are is not where you want to be. If where they are does not inspire you to be great. So maybe we should look at ourselves as parents, look at ourselves as brothers, sisters, uncles, aunties, and say, why are the children not learning from us? Why are the children not copying our behaviors? Why are the children not listening to our authority? I want to challenge you to really ask yourself, when you wake up every single day, go to work, you come back, what is it that your community, the current generation, look up and say, I want lo, when the so, I want to copy him or her. Most of us, our character is very much different from our instructions. We are saying to the current generation, please, please walk this way, go south, while our actions day in and day out are going north. I want to ask you to really look into the power that is within you. It's time that we lead from the front, not lead with our voices. Not lead with authority because you are a grown-up or you have power, or you have a title. My question to you this morning, what is it that you believe that every day you're working hard on it, you're committed to it, that the current generation is saying that I want to be like that person? Most of us, when we're growing up in our community, Ekasi, we had teachers, we had principals, we had policemen, we had the nurse, we had social workers that we looked up to and said, I want to be like them one day. What is it that they did for them to achieve that? What is it that they did for them to buy that car? What is it that they did for them to own that house? And if I like where they are, I will follow their path in order to get what they have. That's all. No one had to force us to do anything. We just looked up to people and said, if he is great, what is it that he did to be where he is today? If she's so amazing, what is that she did? So I can do it. Na meheni kopela, cut and paste so I can learn. But the sad part today is that our children, current generation, look at us and say, I don't want to be like him. I don't want to be like him. And if they have no one to look up to, they create their own path. And the path that they're going to create will always interject your path. And then that's where conflict arises. I pray and hope that as a generation we find the ability to lead from the front. Most of us today are sitting under a shade that was planted by our grandfathers. We're enjoying the benefits that were planted by our grandfathers. Our grandfathers and grandparents lived their life while investing in the next generation. Currently, we've got elders who are living their life while spending what the next generation is supposed to enjoy. They are utilizing the seeds that they're supposed to plant, but they're not planting the seeds. They're just using them. When the next generation comes up, there is nothing for them. There is no tree. There are no seeds. And they have to suffer. I pray and hope that as a nation we'll stop blaming the current generation and ask ourselves as leaders, as elders, as parents, as uncles, what is it that I'm doing day in and day out to make sure that the next generation is perfect? We can't be a generation that keeps on complaining day in and day out, retweeting, complaining, they are stoked. Yes, that's a fact. The truth is, what are you doing? Your role in this world is not to be a reporter, it's to change, it's to influence. If you don't lead, they will get lost. Leading is not talking, it's action. They must see the truth in you before you tell them the truth about you. They must believe in your action before you instruct them to believe in themselves. You will never, ever go to someone who is bankrupt, Anganamali, he has lost 4 businesses in the last 10 years and say, yeah, please come and guide me on how to run my business. You won't. You'll go to a successful person. Even if you don't believe what the successful person is saying, but because they're successful, it gives you a certain level of guarantee that they know what they're talking about. We have to lead from the front. We have to work harder than we've done before, not for our own benefit, but for the next generation.
Place your hand over your heart. Feel that? That's called purpose. You're alive for a reason. Join Bonnke Shipalana on The Power Within as we discover your purpose for being alive.